Hello everyone, this is Indrajit Kanguli and welcome to the last topic from the third chapter of history, the sense of collective belonging. I hope you are already familiar with the concept, the sense of collective belonging from the previous chapter. As you know that the sense of collective identity helped to create the nation state like Germany and France, right? But in the case of India, when we are talking about anti-British movement and when we are discussing about the united mass struggle, the sense of collective belonging is very important to develop the nationalist sentiments among Indians. Students, as you know that nationalism develops when people begin to feel that they have a common heritage, culture, descent and belonging to the same nation. So, this sense of collective belonging amongst Indians was developed in three ways. Number one, use of culture. These included folk tales, folk songs, cultural practices, art, literature, and many more. Number two, personalities, figures, and symbols. These included two things. One is allegory, and second one is national flag. And the third, which is very important, that is interpretation of history, which means to revival of the glorious history and to revival about the incidents of the glorious past. Okay, I will discuss with you these three topics one by one. So our first topic, that is number one, that is use of culture. In the late 19th century India, nationalists began recording folk tales sung by birds, and the nationalist leaders of India toured villages to gather folk songs and legends. These tales, they believed, gave a true picture of traditional culture that had been corrupted and damaged by outside forces. Dear students, in Bengal, Rabindranath Tagore himself began collecting ballads, nursery rhymes and myths and led the movement of folk revival. Remember students, in Madras, Natesha Shastri published 4 volumes of the folk tales and presented it as the folklore of southern India. Remember student, it is very important for 1 mark question, and he believed that the folklore was the national literature and it was the most trustworthy manifestation of people's real thoughts and characteristics. So remember students, the revival of folk culture, folk tales, folk literature was essential for the developed the sense of collective belonging. Okay, number 2, personalities, figures and symbols. On your screen, this is a picture of Bharat Mata, and she is the allegory of India. The first image of Bharat Mata was created by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in his novel Anandamath. Remember student, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee also composed the hymn called Vande Mataram, and it was dedicated to and this hymn was dedicated to the motherland. Okay. Later on, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee included this song in the Anandamath, and this song was widely sung by the Indian revolutionaries against the anti-British struggles. And remember students, Anandamath became a very important book and it encouraged the young youths to join in the anti-British movement. So frightened by this book, the British government decided to ban this book. Bharat Mata was widely used by the revolutionaries in any British struggle. So the picture of Bharat Mata was first painted by Avanindranath Tagore. Those students having Bengali, they are basically familiar with the name Avanindranath Tagore. As you can see, Bharat Mata was an ascetic figure, and she is calm, composed, and she's just like an ordinary woman of India. But the divinity and spirituality was generally depicted from her 4 hands and these rays of light. So Bharat Mata was becoming a very influential figure, and it developed the patriotic feelings among the Indian revolutionaries. The Bharat Mata image was first painted during the time of Swadeshi movement, and this image of Bharat Mata was used in the anti-British struggle. So the allegory of Bharat Mata was an important component to develop the sense of collective belonging. Remember students, in subsequent years, the image of Bharat Mata acquired many different forms as it circulated in popular prints and was painted by different artists. So devotion to this mother figure came to be seen as evidence of one's nationalism. As the nationalist movement developed, nationalist leaders became more and more aware of such icons and symbols in unifying people and inspiring in them a feeling of nationalism. During the Swadeshi movement in Bengal, the Swadeshi flag was designed by the nationalist leader. On your screen, this is the picture of the Swadeshi flag. Remember students, Swadeshi flag is very important for 3 marks question. The feature of Swadeshi flag is very important for 3 marks question. As you've seen, this is a tricolor flag comprising red, yellow and green color. These 8 lotus on the flag suggesting the 8 provinces of India, and the crescent moon represent the Muslim people in India, and the sun represent the Hindu population of India. And here, this is the famous line that was written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, that is Vande Mataram. So the Swadeshi flag was developed during the Swadeshi movement, and that flag was used as a national flag of India. As you know that the national flag also is a very important component to create the sense of national identity. Later on, Gandhiji painted this Swaraj flag. As I have already discussed with you that during the Lahore session of Congress in 1929, all the Congress leaders, they have decided from that next year, that is from 1930, 26 January would be celebrated as Independence Day, right? And they would hoist it, the tricolor flag, right? So Gandhiji painted this flag, and this flag is also having tricolor, that is red, green and white, and the charkha represent the Gandhian ideal of self-help. Remember students, the features of Swadeshi flag, Swaraj flag is also important for 3 marks question. Another important concept for the revival to create the feeling of nationalism, that is interpretation of history. As you all know that India was a colony of the British Empire, and the British saw Indians as backward, primitive and incapable of governing themselves. So our nationalist leaders, they began looking into the past to discover India's great achievements. I hope you know that the Indus Valley civilization is one of the ancient civilizations the world ever had, and that civilization was developed in India. The discovery of zero was generally done by Indian mathematician called Aryabhatta. And Sir Albert Einstein, he also believed that Aryabhatta has a remarkable contribution in the fields of mathematics. We all know that the gravitational forces generally discovered by Sir Isaac Newton, right? But remember students, in the 7th century BCE, a scientist called Brahmagupta, he gave the idea of gravitational forces. Okay, we all know that the Copernicus generally remarked as the father of astronomy, because he first proved that sun is fixed and earth is moving around the sun, right? But Indian astronomer and polymath Varaha Mihira, he gave the idea, he wrote the various concepts on astronomy, planetary motions, okay, astrology and different fields, and he gave his different ideas about mathematics. And how can we forget the Muslim architecture and the Mughal architecture? I think you know that Taj Mahal is considered as the 7th wonder of the world. So India is having a glorious past. When the British was proving that India is a backward country, is a primitive country, the concept was totally wrong. So in this way, by the reinterpretation of the past, the sense of collective belonging generally developed. Okay students, this is it for today. From my next classes, I will provide you question answers, activity and math work. Thank you and have a nice day.